Yes, boys, we are perfectionists, and by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to just take action and not need everything done to a perfect standard. We have all been there. We come up with an idea, we want to change our identity, we want to change our self-concept, our current self, right? And then all of a sudden, because it's not a perfect week, we throw the towel in. A couple of weeks ago, I just got to a stage where I was like, today's the day, I'm gonna up level again. So we all have an old identity, right? A part of us that is used to the moaning, the grieving, the self-doubt, the fear, the worry, the uni student mindset, right? So we always kind of break through, but we never actually seem to fully get there, right? It's so funny. So I was like, right, Sunday night, get the dopamine hit from planning how I'm going to change my life, right? How everything's going to fall into place, that next level. Because I'd reached a milestone and I was like, right, every 90 days we've got to up it. Monday, solid, great start, feeling fruity. Tuesday, wake up, motivated, bang. 2 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon, I start getting a little bit tired. The little voice comes in. Oh, it's never going to work. What's the point? Don't do this, don't do that. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Bang, I'm on the sofa, sat down, phone in hand. Casa della Scroll, phone in hand, Bosch. Straight away, I'm like, what am I doing? But I couldn't stop. So I spent the rest of the Tuesday afternoon, I was like, oh, I've done it now. I'm not going to be able to beat the phone addiction and everything. That's it, I'm calling it a day. Wednesday comes. Nah, not today, brother. Straight away, I was like, I can just get back on track. I don't have to be this person that has a bad afternoon, and instead of having 6.5 solid focused parts of my week, we just try and have the ones. It's got to be perfect every single day because our mind needs perfection. And I was like, nah, it's not happening. This is what the sneaky old frequency does, right? So I pulled myself back in and I was like, it's not happening. Wednesday morning, got up, treated it like a Monday. Thursday, got up, treated it like a Monday. Friday, bang, 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 bang. To the end of the week. Now, one of my friends passed away this week. I might seem a little bit happy and I might seem a little bit chirpy. I was broken. I was broken. But life is going to throw these obstacles at you. And this is where you will not be able to get back into a good headspace as quick as this. I've had to lose so many of my friends, my family, my life. I've had to lose it so much to the point where I understand why I went through it, to be able to get back to baseline quicker. Yes, there's going to be good moments. Yes, there's going to be bad moments. But I used it as fuel because now I respect so much my 2 friends that passed away that supported me, to the point where I don't want perfection anymore. I want the idea to come and I'm going to execute it and I'm just going to put it out there. I want the idea to come and I'm just going to take that risk. I want to live that life now. And it's crazy to think the amount of success that I have had and we have all had without having that mindset. We all hold ourselves back. My biggest self of holding myself back is social media. I can't be asked, but I want to push the message a little bit more. And, my business is brilliant, but there's always that other side of it. I spent 5 years studying my craft and actually becoming the person that can have the most amazing products. Now I'm going to spend, that 5 next years pushing the content and pushing the message out there. But perfection is why you're stuck. Why shouldn't you have 1.5 good days? You fall back into the little bit of the trap, and then Wednesday you get up and go again. Because the only difference between you now and where you want to go is the action in between, but that voice talks us out of it. I had a client sign up with me in November, right? And he would always do well Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But then because he fell off on Thursday, he would then go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, being a bum, and then go back to the start on the Monday. And he could never fully get that consistency. And it's not about being consistent straight away. It's about falling down and getting up, falling down and getting up, falling down and getting up, falling down and getting up. And that's the exciting bit, because then when you get back up, you start to grow. You start to look around and you start to realize, yeah, man, I'll just improve on this a little bit. I go to bed every night and I write down where could I have been better today. So I didn't finish that meal. I didn't do that. And then the next day I'm like, right, keep an eye on them things. And they become the fundamentals, to the point your routine in the morning just becomes the normal. Same with me with filming YouTube videos. I'm doing one a day to the point where I'm just going to sit down and it just becomes the normal. Detach from the outcome and be able to just have a relentless pursuit in action. Keep the state of consciousness of the person living in that life. Action. Keep the state of consciousness of the person living in your dream life. Action. And just forget about seeing any results. Because now I've managed to get my technology away from me and the phone addiction down, right? And I'm getting natural excitement from doing and producing and learning and seeing. You know, all it takes is to just wake up one day and just be like, I'm done. Today's the day that I'm changing. I am done. And that's it. But what you do is you become addicted to that rucksack that you're carrying of all the problems, all the worries, all of the concerns, how much time has passed, why you can't make change, why you won't make change, why is anyone else gonna pick me? No one's gonna pick you in life for the promotion, for your business, for anything until you pick yourself. I have one of the most incredible clients that I work with. He's been with me for 3 years now. He's got a business in Dubai. And when he moved to Dubai to start his business, he was like, why is anyone going to pick to work with me? I'm such a small fish. I was like, pick yourself first and then the rest will come. The mirror will never smile before you do. So he was picking himself. He was making himself feel seen. He was making himself feel heard. He was making himself feel related to. And then what happened? Everything just started flooding into him. You see, our external world that we live in is just a reflection of our internal state. Now, our internal state is so important to get really dialed in. But if we're starting well, and then in the middle of the week we kind of fall off and then we finish terrible, we're just building that loop. There's nothing changing, and we can all relate to it. But you've got to be a lot more calmer and nicer to yourself when you fall off, because you've been asleep longer than you've been awake. Think about it, right? Really, really deep down, think about this, right? Say, for example, you're 30, right? And you are trying to change your life, and in 6 weeks, you've fallen off a few times. That's falling off a few times compared to 30 years of nothing. You've been programmed for 30 years to be a certain way, and then all of a sudden you think in a short period of time, in your first week, you're going to stick to every single promise and every single thing that you set out to do. No, it's not realistic. Look at people that go to prison. They'll do 30 years in a 4x4 cell, and then all of a sudden they come out and they have to stay in there because they're not used to anything different. They have to climatize. And this is the same as you. You have to climatize to your identity. You can't try and manifest and bring in 100K a month when you haven't made 100K in a year. That's too much of a jump for your subconscious mind to conceptualize. You have to climatize. But don't be impatient. The journey is beautiful to learn about yourself. Like, I love just seeing parts of me come to the surface and I'm like, that's an old behavior, but I know that new behavior is coming in. Like, I can feel it deep down. I know that it's there. I just have to keep pursuing it. And that's the most amazing thing about this journey, is like, you have to treat yourself like a plant. I call it the plant theory, right? You plant the seeds, first of all, of the idea you want to be able to create. Now, that plant isn't going to grow beautifully if the soil isn't laid and it's not watered properly and looked after every single day. But when we want to change, we plant the seed of the person that we want to become. We design it. What does our hair want to look like? How much money do we want to make? How do we want to think, feel, act, behave? All of that, right? But then when it comes down to it, you're not watering yourself the right way on a daily basis. Now, the water is your habits and the self-talk and the comparison. And how much you envy and look at other people and what they're doing. This is your journey tailored to you. And you're not meant to achieve that success straight away, because look what happens when lottery winners win like 20 million, they end up losing it, most of them, because they haven't climatized to that a massive amount of wealth. Now, you have to climatize into the version of you that you want to become. And you have to learn, why do I burn out? How do I burn out? Am I in alignment? Can my mornings be a little bit stricter? How do I, take from that video that I've learned and take from that video that I've learned and implement it? How can I learn stoicism without becoming really, really hard-hearted and blocked up? And how can I learn to be more empathetic when I haven't really had that from my childhood, right? So you're just playing with your own puzzle that you piece together, and that is your authentic version that you give to the world. And it's a beautiful journey. So stop trying to be perfect. Post the content without it looking beautiful. Write the letter without it being beautiful. Apply for the job without it being perfect. Perfection is just procrastination in disguise. That's all it is. So in honor of my two friends that have passed away and all of my other friends that I've lost and my family members and in fact other people in this world, I'm just honoring myself with, I know what identity I want to become. I know the state of consciousness I want to be in, which is just perception, beliefs, expectations, yada, yada, yada. And I just need to make sure that I take aligned action with that in honor of their memory. Yeah, and that's all you need. And stop trying to complete everything in 7 days. Maybe you're going to have a couple of days good, couple of days bad, and then a load of good days and a load of bad days. Not every day is going to be perfect. But how quickly can you get back to baseline? That's what you want to be able to do, is how quickly can you go from I've smashed it, I fell off, how quickly can you get back there? Because as long as you keep getting back there, the fall will be a lot shorter, because you're starting to build a new behavior that when you drop off, you get back. When you drop off, you get back. It's a beautiful journey. I'm Brad Parker. Welcome to the Middle of Your Life. Do not chase that perfection. Just go out there, live, get it done. Honour the ones that are not here anymore and make the most of every single day. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're not, big love. You know the score. Let's get it. Let's get it, baby. This is the Middle of Your Life.